Welcome to Liesel's Artistic Studio. Last week I mentioned that fields of wild iris grow near where I live, so take a quick look and listen to this short clip. Isn't that so fun? It's amazing to walk through these fields and listen to the birds chirping. I wish that this was something that you all could experience. But at least for today, let's paint some of these pretty iris flowers using watercolors. So go ahead and grab your watercolor paper, your paints, your water, a paper towel, and some brushes, and let's get started. I have two brushes I'll be using today. This is a number 1 liner brush that I'll use at the very end for some of the detail work. And then I have a new brush that I just bought and I'm so excited to try it out. This is also a number 1 brush and it's one of the smaller brushes in the set. The brand is called Grabby and there are 9 sizes of synthetic brushes in this set. So I'm eager to try these out over the next few weeks. If you're interested in any of the supplies I use today, you can find links to them in the description of this video. Now, as far as the drawing goes, I showed you step by step how to draw this for yourself last week, if you'd like to do that. I'll leave a link at the end of this video for it if you missed it last week and if you're interested. But if drawing is not your thing, I will also provide a limited time free PDF outline for the first 2 days that this video is out. Or you can support my small Etsy shop and purchase it for a minimal, low-cost fee. Both of those links will also be in the description of this video. Then after you have this outline printed out, you can trace it with a pencil onto your watercolor paper and you're ready to go. Then if you like, you can tape your paper down with some artist tape. All right, let's get our main purple color ready for this painting. For the color of the iris petals, we will be using Dioxazine purple mixed with just a touch of ultramarine blue to make a slightly blue-violet color. And then when mixing colors, it's always a good idea to test them out on a scrap piece of paper before you start painting. So for these first few petals, what I'm going to do is take a small amount of paint on the tip of my brush, then paint just 1 or 2 lines of color on the outer edge of the petal. Then I'll wet my brush and use the water to dilute and spread that line of color throughout the rest of the petal. The reason I like to paint this particular petal this way is so that I can create a gradient of color on each petal. The paint will tend to be a little darker where it's first applied, and then it lightens up a little bit as I spread the paint out to the ends. But of course, if this method is not working for you, you can just add some extra water to your paint on your palette and lighten up the value, and then just paint the whole petal with that solid color. So go ahead now and paint the first 3 petals on each of these iris flowers in the same way, and then we'll move on. All right, now I'll paint these next several petals in a similar way as before, but this time I'm going to paint them just a slightly darker value so they look separate from the first petals. So to do this, I'm going to paint on a little bit more paint initially, using less water to dilute and lighten up the color. Then if you need to, you can also go back in while the paint is still wet and dab in a smidgen more color to darken up a few of these spots, particularly at the base of the petal. If you're enjoying this tutorial and would like to be notified when I provide free outlines, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I offer these limited time free outlines to try to benefit and give back to my subscribers and my consistent viewers. So make sure you don't miss out on this gift in the future. You know, wild iris are definitely different than other iris plants that you might grow at your house. I did a different iris tutorial a while back of another type, and you can see here that the petals are much more thick and fluffy, while the wild iris is more thin. but they're both very beautiful in their own way. Now for these last petals on the iris, I really want them very light in value. So what I'm going to do here is use some tinted water, or what I like to call a dirty brush, to paint these. Basically, I get some color in the bristles of the brush, and then I rinse the brush gently in water, while still leaving a very small amount of tinted water or diluted color in the bristles. Then I can paint the petal, and you'll notice that the color is very light in value. Now just go ahead and finish off the remaining larger petals with this light value. With this last petal that's sort of folded over, I'll paint the first half very light, and then I'll let it dry completely before painting the other half. Then when you're ready to paint the second half, paint it slightly darker in value, especially here where the two edges touch. Now I'll take a bit of this purple and paint the tips of these three little buds that haven't come out of their spade yet. All right, it's time to paint the greenery to this iris. So let's mix up a few colors to use. First, I'm going to make a little section of Hooker's Green. Then for the second color, I'll start with Hooker's Green and add a little bit of burnt umber to it to make it more of a tinted brown green. And lastly, I'll again use the base color of Hooker's Green and then add in some azo yellow for a tinted yellow-green. Now, before I begin painting, I am going to change out my water for some fresh, clean water. Then I'll begin painting the buds that are just about to bloom. This time, I'm going to paint the area with water first. Then I'll add in some purple to the top 3/4 of this bud. Now, you'll notice this is not a flat color. I'm kind of painting this in stripes or spots, and then I'll let that paint spread how it wants to. Then on the bottom 4th section of the bud, I'll begin blending in a little bit of green. Here at the very bottom, I'll put in some of the pure Hooker's Green, or maybe even a little bit of brown green if it needs to be darker. And then I'll add in some yellow green closer to the purple. Now I'll paint the other two buds in the same way. Now I'm going to paint the spathe sections, or the green areas in which the flowers bloom out from. For these, I will also paint them using water first to help colors blend with each other. And as far as the green colors I use, there's not really a rhyme or reason for which colors go where. Use your artistic eye and determine what your painting needs. But with that being said, here are a few pointers. Use the lighter colors like the yellow-green or a watered-down Hooker's Green at more of the top or upper half, and then the brown-green or a darker Hooker's Green nearer to the bottom half. Also, try to make each section just slightly different than the one it's sitting right next to. This can be done with either differences in values or differences in color placement. All right, well done. It is now time to finish painting the stems for the iris. I am also going to paint these using the wet on wet technique to help the colors blend. So go ahead and wet the area with water first. And then starting with this open bloom, I'll use the brown green and paint the star points of the flower stem. Now as I begin moving downward, I'm going to lighten this color as I go, using the hooker's green next to the brown green, and then moving downward, still the hooker's green with a touch of yellow green nearer to the bottom. Then while this is all still wet, I'll add in just a touch of the brown green for a bit of a shadow right under this overlapping petal. Then at this point, I'll finish painting the remaining stalks in a similar way. All right, before we finish this painting off with the final details, let's change out this water one more time. Next, I'm going to paint in the small sections of yellow on these open blooms using a little bit of Gamboge. And last but not least, if you feel brave enough, let's add in some very light and thin vein lines on these buds and petals. So it's time to pull out that #1 liner brush if you have it to really help keep these lines nice and thin. And then gently use the tip of the brush to add in the veins. The trick here is, #1, to make sure the paint is not too dark. #2, keep them as thin as possible so it's not overpowering. And 3, don't overdo it. A few of these can go a long way. The petals that I'm letting the veins stand out on most are the very lightest petals with the yellow marks. Although the others have it as well, they are only barely visible. And here are your beautiful wild iris flowers and buds. Thanks so much for painting with me today. I hope you had some fun and maybe even learned something new. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can continue to help you discover your artistic side.